Guys, we are back. Episode 17, Light Chat Podcast. And on today's show, we're going to make it a bit more structured, I think, give people an idea of what we're going to be doing. So, on today's show, we're going to discuss England. Do they have a chance at the World Cup? Go for the squad, how they've been performing, the current game at the minute with Panama.
2-0 up. Harry Kane goal.
Happy days.
Just scored a penalty.
If you're English, that is.
Chris's tenor is coming good. It's going to come good,
a cheeky bet on it. So we're going to discuss, England's chances in the World Cup. We're going to have a little dabble about Love Island. Ooh. Apparently there's a reason why intellectuals like Love Island. So
exactly.
We're going to explore that. We've got some quirky stories. The accidental incestuous relationship.
Boom.
Bit of bro-sis romance going on there. Talk another weird, another weird story, Johnny Depp. And then to finish off, we're going to go into Conspiracy Corner with Chris. And he's going to discuss the Green Children. Was it the Green Children of Woolpit?
Woolpit,
more specific. So that'd be quite interesting stuff. So, at the moment, boys.
England, 2-0 up.
Actually, before we fuck England a minute, how have you all been?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
No, more importantly, where's Ratty?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so today is myself, Chris and Tom. Ratty is not here because he's gone to watch Ed Sheeran.
I quite like Ed Sheeran.
What was it last night? He had to go. He's been playing. Oh God, listen to me. He's been playing dates in Cardiff, didn't he? He had to go off twice to go to the toilet.
Is it?
Yeah, loads of people saying he had diarrhea and stuff. There's a bug going around. Didn't there? Tom had it.
I had the bug. I didn't have the diarrhea, but I had the bug.
My mum had it, but he had to go off during the actual performance twice. He said he needs a pee, but loads of people in the crowd were saying they think that he went for a shit.
15 minutes later, you're like, mate.
They're all there looking at their watch. We literally just walked off stage.
Yeah, twice. But if you have to go, like,
what are you going to do? Have a shit on the stage?
If you have to go, don't you?
Can you remember me and Tom used to do this really funny? We used to think it was funny, but when someone went to the toilet and they come back and they didn't come back within a few seconds, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was too long for a pee." Remember?
Yeah.
There was a video today on Facebook, and some guy was showed a video of the city centre.
Oh, was that after?
Yeah,
it was disgusting.
Obliterated.
Why are people so messy?
I saw that.
This Ed Sheeran thing has caused so much havoc in and around the city centre with traffic.
It has, but is it Ed Sheeran's fault?
No, it's not his fault.
Well, it's not their fault. It's the greedy bastards who keep it in here for like the long weekend. I mean, there was a story of other bands trying to get into play in bars, and they weren't able to actually make their sets because of Ed Sheeran. Yeah. So, caused a lot of havoc.
Cornered the market, haven't you?
Ed Sheeran, you dick.
Cock, what a prick.
I do love Ed Sheeran, though.
He is, to be fair, he is quite a good singer.
I'll give him credit because he's an artist. You know, he is an artist, but his music is terrible.
Oh, no way.
Ratty would disagree if he was here.
Ratty, unfortunately, because his mate's girlfriend loves Ed Sheeran, so she's dragged him along, and then resulting in Ratty having to go along to be his moral support. So I think Ratty's going to stand there with headphones on, listen to Pantera, whilst absolutely fucking hating every minute of it.
They could be going though. Why didn't he just say no? I don't want to go.
Because he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
too much of a nice guy.
But
There's going to be some warm-ups there.
I think their last...
One's tonight,
I think, yeah.
But they were saying, weren't they? They want the local shops with where all their rubbish are to chip in and pay for the cleaner.
What? Nah.
It's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but imagine you owned a fish and chip shop, like a small business. I know they want McDonald's to chip in and things like that. It's not your responsibility if people put stuff in the bin.
You just charge the venue or Ed Sheeran and go, mate, we need a bit extra cash here. You pay for the city cleaner.
I was reading he's making £60,000 a night.
Is that it?
That's it. Nah, it's more
than that. That's how much
he's
taking home. 60 grand.
No,
that's a lot of money.
That's not. No, Chris, it's not. He'll be making
60.
more.
I mean, I'm sure.
That's 60,000 people. He's not making £1 per person, is he?
No, but he has to pay for the venue. He has to pay for.
And he'd be making more than that, much more. The tickets are about 40, 50 quid a ticket, isn't they?
70
quid a ticket. Right, you type that in. 70, right? And
how many does it hold? 70,000, is it?
Yeah, it'd be reduced, wouldn't it? Because they half use the stage. So say about 60,000, right? Times 70 quid.
Yeah, but Tom, that doesn't work out like that.
Let's do a Carol Vorderman now. Let's work this shit out.
He's going to be getting more than 60. I reckon he could be earning £500,000 a night.
£500,000 a night, right? So what do you want to do?
So there's how much he's made,
60,000.
and then how much net.
Say 40,000.
Yeah, say 40,000 then, right?
So
times 70 quid.
Yeah. So there's how much he's made and how much net he's taken home.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pay the band
2.8 million.
Yeah, so he ain't waiting. Are you reckon he's earning 60 grand from that?
Was it an hour or something? They said.
No, Chris,
60,000 an hour
he'll
or
be earning
something.
much more.
I can't remember. I read something. Maybe I got that completely wrong. But
Yeah.
I mean, it must cost a pretty penny to hire out the Millennium Stadium. It ain't gonna be
Yeah,
like
but it ain't
free,
going to
is
be,
it?
you know, it ain't
And all
going
the
to be.
staff and stuff.
Yeah, but still, they're making money, otherwise they wouldn't do it. Would
And
they?
the taxman's coming for a bit of that, isn't he?
Cha-ching. Yeah, but you only pay tax on profit, don't you?
Oh, fucking.
And that'd be funny. He's making him fucking.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he's making a mint.
We digress.
Anyway,
So, guys, England. Kicking off now, 2-0 up.
My bet at 18-1 with a 10 on 18-1. It looks good.
right. I don't hate England.
Yeah.
But what I am wary of is the hysteria.
Yeah.
I was
Which
gonna
will
say
be plaguing Sky Sports News, and for sports fans who don't live in England and who are not English, it's not very entertaining to see constant
Yeah.
24-hour coverage of England. If Wales done well, we get a couple of days
that. Yeah.
and then we glossed over. But with the England thing, even if they come in the quarterfinals, that'll be
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Where did England go wrong?
And to be
A 3-hour
fair,
special.
right, they got the best league in the world.
Yeah.
You'd imagine them to be getting to at least the quarterfinals anyway, wouldn't you?
What makes me laugh though, they were like, right, we've taken a different approach to this World Cup. We haven't got a big hype. We're not expecting much. And they just about beat Tunisia. And all this been going on now for all week on
We're
the
gonna win
radio.
it.
We're going to win it. We got to beat Panama. Of course they're going to beat Panama.
Of course they
I
are.
I could beat
Us three
Panama.
would freaking beat Panama.
Yeah.
But like they've got Belgium next, haven't they? And that'll
Belgium be a good team.
Yeah,
They're
Belgium
good.
won 4-1.
I think they look
wouldn't
really good actually. Well, that was against Panama, wasn't it?
See Germany last night?
Tunisia, sorry.
See
Yeah,
Germany
Germany,
last
that was-
night? Wow. They were
Yeah.
really up against it and they come
Bloody
through. But then that's kind of
Yeah, that's
you know,
the
winning
mentality, innit?
teams stumble. It's how they come back.
Ruthlessly efficient, those Germans,
good
aren't
teams
they?
win when they're bad, don't they? Playing badly. That's what a good team will do.
I mean, it's half-time talk. Must have been immense.
You can never write off Germany.
9-9 in Kleinen.
We need a goal.
Goal, just one goal.
The Germans are coming.
Kraus.
But
I love the German names. Sebastian Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, they got
I love those names.
yeah,
man.
well,
Müller.
the most
Kraus.
German-looking person ever, Oliver Kahn.
Yeah, he was a proper German.
Remember the
wasn't he?
goalkeeper? He looked. You think for German, that's him.
Yeah.
Massive, blonde,
Yeah.
really,
And he was really
intelligent.
aggressive, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Just really
And when,
competitive.
right, another holiday story. When me and Chris were on holiday, right, we met a guy who was an ex-professional player, wasn't he? A German.
Who?
Remember? I don't know. We didn't know who he was, did he? But we were talking to him.
Oh, he was an ex-professional.
Because he said he was retired. Well, so he said. He could be in bullshit. We wouldn't know. But we were there one day and we were just chatting to him and he was German and he was going, this is literally, you look like you're having so much fun.
Germans are
And
really
we got-
polite, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are really polite. And he's like, oh, you look like you're having so much fun.
Remember when we used to work in a hotel years ago, and there was this there was like all us bloody knobheads working in the hotel, just like taking the piss and that. And there was this girl called Almut.
Oh, Almut.
She was the most efficient human being I've ever worked
She
with
was
in my life.
ridiculously efficient.
It was like you were just dotting around, like might have cleared one table in like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. She'd have cleared like 8, wouldn't she?
She's just battering.
For the whole shift, she wouldn't stop working. It put us to shame, didn't it? And we were all just like, oh,
Gotta live up to it. Anyway, so
Shapsy
England,
Barley.
the squad. What are we thinking? Who for you in that English squad is gonna really, if they are gonna do well in this World Cup and go far? Who's gonna do it? I mean, Sterling has to up his game, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's just
I
Like
like
he should be
Sterling.
our threat. I mean, Harry Kane, Sterling. If
He's
they
the
can-
obvious one, isn't he,
Yeah.
Harry Kane?
I mean, Harry Kane will
don't know
slot him
about
in.
it. Yeah.
No, I don't particularly think he's not flair, is he?
Yeah.
He's just precise. He's a
bit of an old-fashioned player, isn't he,
Yeah, and he looks
really?
a bit like a 1950s
Yeah,
kind
he
of.
does, yeah.
To me, he's a lot like Alan Shearer, isn't he?
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
efficient,
Just
really-
efficient, no
yeah.
flair, no glamour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were saying he's the top striker in the Premier League. I don't know about
No,
that.
he was, didn't he? He scored the most goals last year, didn't he?
Well, he scored the most goals, but I mean, it does make him the best player, does it?
No, well, no, of course not. But
I really prefer Sergio Aguero. I think he's awesome, and even like I really like Well, you can't say much about what you call him, can you? Who's the Egyptian striker, Mo Salah?
Oh,
Salah,
yeah,
eh?
it's brilliant.
I mean, come on,
James got a tattoo on his back of Mo Salah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you? But can
Gotta
you?
say it.
If you had the choice between Sergio Aguero, Mohamed Salah, or Harry Kane,
The only thing about Mohamed Salah is he's not done it every season.
Yeah, it's just
So
one good- yeah.
if Salah could do this next season and the season after, okay, maybe he wavers a bit, but nevertheless he's
Yeah,
consistent. Then absolutely Mohamed Salah, because I like his style. His
he's a very
style
good
is
player.
almost like a Suarez kind of thing,
Yeah,
where
he is. Yeah.
they got such good control over the ball. It seems like they take forever in the box.
Yeah.
You know, usually
They just create that space as
yeah,
well,
they just
don't
create
they?
that space. They seem to have so much time in the box, and then
Yeah.
they just casually just score goals.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
like the one we scored. Who was it against? I think it was Man City in the second leg, Champions League, and he just chipped the goalie
yeah.
So
on such a
composed, isn't he?
tight angle. I mean, that's just exceptional.
Reminds me of what you call it, Nanny. I mean, Nanny, that was against Man City as well.
Nanny.
I think he's something special. However,
He's got to do it again, though.
he's had one good season.
Because
hasn't
you
he?
see that all too often, don't you, in football?
Yeah.
You'll have a player who has a cracking season, then just kind of disappears.
Well,
That's why you
Jamie
can't compare
Vardy.
him. Jamie, hey, is he that consistent though?
Yeah.
Well, he had one cracking season, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying, he's-
Should have moved.
Yeah.
For
Mate,
me,
he scored didn't he score about 20 goals last season as well, though?
let's have a look.
Yeah, have a
Have a
look.
look, have
I'm
a look.
sure he scored almost 20 goals last season, so he's pretty
I mean,
consistent.
do you
but
blame the team or do you?
Yeah.
It's changed, though,
The
hasn't
thing
it?
is, though, they did lose Mahrez.
Yeah, and he was a good
Mahrez, is it
playmaker.
Mahrez?
Yeah, Mahrez. Yeah,
Mahrez,
yeah.
and he
Has he
was
gone
like-
to City? Where did he go?
Where did Mahrez go?
He went to France, didn't he?
Oh, right. No, he was quality. He was.
Yeah. And this is a thing, yeah. Sometimes, though, yeah.
Who was that guy as well? They lost a midfielder. He went to Man City.
Oh, Chelsea, wasn't it?
He went to Chelsea.
Leicester player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
went to Chelsea.
French midfielder, awesome.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you
But anyway, but no, you're quite right, Chip. Like, it's kind of like if you play with really crap people, you'll play crap. You'll play worse when you because like you sort of adapt the game to who you're playing against.
It takes a special player like
Yeah.
Bale. I'm not saying Wales are crap, but definitely
Yeah.
Wales are
He
a
can-
bit behind the rest of the world. But
Yeah.
Bale can just
He
pull
got
him out of
20
the bag.
goals last season in the Premier League.
Yeah, so Vardy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
he's
in all
quite
competitions, yeah?
consistent.
Yeah, it's good.
Or was that just in the Premiership?
Just in the Premier League.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
He's
good.
pretty
Yeah.
consistent. But is he at the World Cup, Vardy? He must be.
He must be in the squad. Can we get a look
mustn't
at
he?
the squad?
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
Chris.
is in the squad, yeah, Jamie Vardy's
Can we have a
in
look at
the
the squad and the England team, and we can pick it apart and see who's potentially going to stand out? Because I mean, I haven't watched all their games. I don't know what they're playing like now, but their defense
Yeah.
didn't look the best.
With England, they've always they just got a cracking goal. Who was that? Lingard. John, look at that
Jesse
for a goal.
Lingard's awesome,
Well,
isn't he?
Look at this.
All right,
Oh,
so
come on.
we're going through England's chances,
We're
and now
going
let's.
through it, and they've just scored.
Third
Look at
goal.
that.
Let's have a
3-0,
look at
and
this.
I
it's
think my 180 quid is in the
35
bank.
minutes
isn't it?
gone.
What was your
3-0.
bet, Chris?
England to win the World Cup.
So look at
18
this.
18
Fucking
to
hell,
one.
that's a bit.
Look at this, guys. So he scores. Lingard.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. England have got some awesome
shoots
players,
him just
haven't
outside
they?
the box. Top hand corner. Oh, that's a
nice
cracking
goal.
goal.
That's a cracking
Lingard,
goal,
Jesse
fair play.
Lingard.
Loftus-Cheek, though, he's in for, what you call him, isn't he?
Oh, that's a cracking
Look
goal.
at that goal, man.
The thing is, though, boys, I mean, I think some of these giants are sleeping at the minute. You got
Yeah.
Germany not playing
Yeah.
very well.
Argentina.
Argentina are out
Brazil
now.
struggled to the last.
Brazil are not playing that well. I mean, not being
Argentina.
funny. I think I think as soon as they get out of these qualifiers, I think they'll be well ahead.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
The
really
Germans
think.
seem to get better and better with every
Yeah, they're
performance,
just
though, don't
warming
they?
up, I think, and I think that'll cause massive issues for England.
Yeah.
and any other team.
Why won't it come
And
up?
you're right, Jim. There's a lot of teams who are underperforming, aren't they? Like Argentina,
Yeah.
they're on the verge of going out, and Germany looked like they were going out to like
Yeah.
the
Well,
last.
This is all on the last one, though, isn't it?
That free kick was
Oh, my
crap.
God.
Did you see it? It was inside the box.
Such a what?
It should have been a
It was
penalty.
inside the box. The actual where they took the free kick from was inside the box.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you see the Did you
Brilliant
see
free kick, though.
Oh yeah, it was
The
cracking.
Croatia-
The
Fair
angle was amazing. Just floated in the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
corner.
the Croatia Tunisia game?
No,
No,
I
the
missed
Croatia
that.
Switzerland game.
No, I missed it.
Bloody hell! Wasn't that
Did
was
they
a
win 3-0,
penalty.
wasn't it? That was Argentina, wasn't it?
No, it was Switzerland and Croatia.
Oh,
wasn't
when
it?
the two players rugby tackled him. Did
No,
you
I
ever see
missed
that?
it.
Oh,
No.
it was ridiculous. Like VAR.
I've seen, yeah. I didn't watch the game. I know the thing you're on about. It
Yeah.
was like a wrestling move,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. Basically, two people
Yeah,
rugby
because
tapped
I
into the
mean,
floor.
did they go to the
No, they
VR?
didn't.
This is it,
Didn't.
it seems so inconsistent, that thing, doesn't it? And not just that, it is better than I thought it would be, actually, because I thought people would be sitting around for ages while they
Yeah.
make a decision. It doesn't seem to be like that. But they were saying there's more penalties in this World Cup than any other World Cup.
Do you know what?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there have been quite a lot of penalties.
They have.
Yeah.
It's because they've got that moment of time to step back, haven't
But do you
they?
think
And
that's affecting the games? Do you think that's why
I
teams are
don't
not
know.
playing to their full potential,
I don't
perhaps? Do you
think
think they're
so,
just on
no.
edge?
I think is the climate, because England are playing today. They reckon it's like 30 odd degrees today, and that's really hot to be playing
You wait till
football.
they play
in.
Saudi fucking Arabia, man.
I
That's
know.
going to be intense. Have
Yeah.
a fan connected to their heads the whole fucking time.
Oh yeah, because they're playing the World Cup in
Saudi Arabia.
Qatar.
Oh, Qatar, yeah.
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah.
Jesus.
That's
Oh,
well,
guys, I'm going to Dubai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell,
I'm going
tell
to
us all
Dubai.
about it, Tom.
Oh, nice.
I booked my honeymoon for Dubai next year and
Yeah.
Mauritius. That's going to be hot. I looked at the.
You go to Dubai and Mauritius.
We're going to Mauritius first and then Dubai on the way back for 3 days.
Okay.
I could do, guys. I could do a podcast from there.
Yeah,
wanna?
go on then.
Shall I?
So you're going to save all your holidays now to actually go on holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just to say, in this,
But it's going to be hot.
in this World Cup
Gonna
already.
fucking melt.
I am.
Tom, you're
Me and
like-
James, right? Me and James were filming the other day. Where was it? Outside County Hall.
Yeah, that's right,
And
yeah.
I showed you the picture, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was sunburned, and this was in Cardiff. And
Yeah.
what was it? It was about 25.
Oh, we're just...
It was hot.
We're just not blessed with the genes to...
No, we're not. But it's annoying because
I'm
Claire's.
getting better.
Yeah.
It's just, but... Yeah, my legs are horrific. My legs are so pale. I said to Ratty, if
Looks
I was
awful, doesn't
like,
it?
honestly, I could be dead in the fucking Sahara Desert, blistered and burned all over, except my legs would just be pasty white still.
Still look like a pint of
just
milk,
still
yeah.
like a pint of milk.
But it's annoying because Claire goes because she's quite dark skinned, isn't
Yeah.
she? So all the family they just go really dark, and I go,
Yeah.
I do eventually, but I go that embarrassing red first.
The funny thing is,
Yeah.
though, my dad goes ridiculously brown.
Yeah.
Like within a few days, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's because
You guys probably follow your mum like I follow my mum, because my dad is got the skin for like hot weather, and he does go dark.
Yeah.
Like Caden, my boy, he goes dark brown.
yeah, and he's got
Yeah,
got skin for it. That's neat to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
England had just scored
England
again.
scored again.
Wow,
4-0.
4-0.
I'm going to cash out
Stones.
now. I'm just going to go.
Stone scored.
Anyway, going back to the penalties, guys. Apart from today, there's been 15 penalties.
What?
Already.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
because
there
what
has.
was the last World Cup? I don't think it was many.
I can't. No,
It's like
I
3
can't
or
remember.
4. That's something ridiculous.
15
But
penalties already. bloody hell.
on the third day, there were 5 penalties in one day.
Oh wow! Well, yeah,
that
that is a
crazy?
lot. That is a lot.
5 pounds.
But is this because of the Is this
Oh yeah,
because
that
of
must
the
be
VAR?
for. I think so.
playing
And I can tell you the penalties so far: Ronaldo, Antonio de Guzman, Janik, Messi, Cava, Modric, Krankovic, Sassi, Kagawa. Oh yeah,
Kagawa
Still
scored.
playing.
And Harry Kane scored
Salah.
today.
Yeah, and the list goes on.
It's a bit of a shame Egypt have gone out though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame.
Not
I
a
like
surprise
Egypt.
though. They are literally a one-team player, a
One-man team, yeah.
team, aren't
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but what can you do? I mean, Salah didn't have the best end
No.
to the season, so
Yeah.
that's obviously going to affect
And he
him,
looked
isn't
when
it?
the game was being played. He looked a bit nervous going into challenges, didn't he? He was like
Yeah,
holding back a
You're
bit.
going to be apprehensive, mate.
Yeah,
they?
you
One,
would.
one team that looked good though, Spain.
Yes.
Spain look really,
And Russia.
really
Russia
good.
scored like 8 goals in 2 games, didn't they?
Yeah, I
Russia
don't know
look
about
good.
that though. They haven't really had much of a chance. But
Yeah, but they're playing
Spain
at
look
home. Oh
brilliant,
wait, there,
didn't they?
guys, they're going to the VAR for the 4th goal. It looked like he might have been offside actually.
I don't know that. I think this VAR. I really don't. I would hate if it came to the Premier League.
No, they want to bring it in next season, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
When
about
Cardiff
that.
City have won their first league
I
Premier
thought,
title.
again, it should be used as a tool, not all the time. It should be used for absolutely. It's a very important decision to be
Well, the go-
made. That they're not sure. They just want a bit of backup. I think
Yeah.
I think they should be able to use it.
They've just allowed the goal, by the way. It's just
VAR
4-0.
can only be used for awarding goals, penalty decisions, red card decisions, and cases of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
But it's being used for everything now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the problem, isn't it?
I think that's the problem now. Players are asking for VAR for everything.
Yeah.
And it is interesting when we're not even out of the group stages yet, and there's been more penalties now than any other World Cup.
Which is a good thing because it'll take it one tournament for it all to sort out, wouldn't it?
It will, yeah. But when you look at like, that was an awesome game. I've got to say, the Sweden game, the Switzerland game, Croatia game. But that was blatantly a penalty, and they had VAR. And,
Did you see the Argentina game when they got battered?
So,
3-0?
unfortunately, because of the times, I've missed a lot of
Yeah.
it, which is unfortunate. But right, boys, let's move on to the next topic.
Wait, I just want to bring something up.
Okay.
Something I saw on Facebook.
Let's wait for the next topic.
Sorry. Something I saw on Facebook. I was trying to explain to my brother.
All right.
Who,
yeah.
me?
Yeah, remember last night I was saying that there was this restaurant, right, Jim? And we might have to chuck this into the thing about restaurants doing friggin' stupid gimmicks to get people in.
All right, okay.
Look at this for a gimmick. I'm not going to say anything. Just look at it.
All right. Okay. So
He's
it's a
go-
man taking a toilet to a table
Oh, was this is what you're on about yesterday.
Where's this to? Is this in Canada?
I think it's America.
And they've opened up the lid, and it looks like shit down a
Yeah.
pan.
That is messed up in there.
I take that as a dessert because
It's
they're
a
looking at it with
dessert, yeah.
spoons unless it's some weird shites of porno. Where the fuck is this to
It's
then?
doing that ridiculous.
Where's that
Let's have a
to?
bit right there, Tom.
Okay, so basically, it's guys. They've been presented a toilet to their dining table, and
it's an actual
the waiters
physical
open up
toilet.
the lid, and literally they've all just started digging in with spoons. Right, what's this on?
I saw it on Facebook.
Right, we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
we
we'll-
say this a lot.
yeah.
We have definitely to get this for
We
sure.
will have to. It does
It
look
looks
like
too
shit.
much like
Oh
shit.
my god, that's disgusting. That's real.
It's
Of
obviously
course it's real.
chocolate. It's
Yeah.
obviously chocolate.
Yeah, obviously, but like,
Imagine you're sat there
That is
in a restaurant and
disgusting.
someone comes over with a toilet for you to eat in.
This is some weird German
that
shite of
can't be
porno.
true. That's
It's
that's
there.
feral.
I was trying to share with
It kind of looks like diarrhea.
Yeah.
And someone's had
What's
a
the
really
yellow
bad
stuff?
It looks like
Like
piss,
piss,
like
obviously,
really
and
bad.
Yeah,
Bad
so
piss,
piss and
like.
shit. That's fucking
That's
disgusting.
disgusting.
But this is it. Do you know, a few
Ugh.
weeks ago we
It
were
probably
talking.
tastes amazing, but
Yeah, it's
I'm
probably
sure it
lovely. Well,
does.
it must be. They're all
scraping
digging
the shit
in.
off the side of the fucking
But we were
toilet.
talking about it before.
Oh, there's
weren't
another
we?
penalty in the game.
Gimmicks. Look at that. 2 penalties in the England game. That's
And it looks like
crazy.
Harry Kane again is going to
Harry.
take it.
Right, Harry, son.
Jesus, that's disgusting. Like, imagine you ordered that and
We
someone
definitely
brought
need
it
to
out.
share that, but I couldn't find it to share it on
So,
Facebook.
where's the restaurant?
It doesn't say where it is.
It's definitely this was
Yes,
not in the UK.
no, it's
Feral.
American. I listened to their
American.
accents.
Would that put you off? It would put me off. I wouldn't have it.
I'd reach in with a spoon.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd give it a
I
go.
don't think I would.
Really?
I'd give it a go. I'd give it a jolly good go.
Oh, I couldn't do
Sorry,
it.
sorry for that interlude.
No,
but
that's
it,
fine.
it,
No,
was
it was,
just
hey, it
bugging
was
me.
worth it. It was worth
bugging
it.
me. We've got
Um,
to check that on.
Right, so Love Island, boys.
Oh,
okay.
Love Island. Now,
Okay.
we've been talking about this, haven't we, Jim?
Yeah, we've had a discussion. I personally think it's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
But that's easy to say.
Yeah.
That's easy to just go, hey, it's crap. It's all these good-looking pricks not talking about much, just fucking each other. Which I suppose is the reason why a lot of people
It's just like
it.
it's just like a lads and girls holiday, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Really
is.
nice
and,
filler.
and who would want to watch somebody's holiday, 18 to 35 holiday in fucking Ibiza or whatever the hell they are?
yeah.
Mallorca.
Mallorca.
Is it Mallorca? I thought it was
Mallorca.
Tenerife.
That's Mallorca.
It looks lush though. Have you
Yeah,
seen
it looks
them?
nice.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I've said
Yeah.
before, I would just love to have add a bit of realism to the show and have somebody like me walk past with my shorts eating a fucking kebab and go, what's all this about then? But that's
Heads
not
would be
happened.
turning, wouldn't they, Jim?
They would love me in there.
There wouldn't be a
You'd be
single.
grime in
There'd be
there,
a lot
don't
of
we?
single
Hey,
women there.
I'd be showing off the hairy belly and all the white bits.
Oh,
Going, what
imagine
you
that.
want
It'd be like
about
a
that?
pint of milk, Jim.
I know.
Imagine that.
We're being invaded by the chefs.
But
Oh, Harry Kane's just got
Harry
his
Kane
second
again.
penalty.
What's the score? 4-0.
5-0.
5-0. How long's gone?
It's just coming up to half time now.
That's just quite
It's
impressive.
going to be 10, that isn't there?
But
All right, ignore
yes.
England.
Yeah,
So Love
fuck 'em.
Island, right, guys? So the thing is, right,
All right,
Jim?
okay. I don't like it. Chris.
I didn't like it, I've got to admit, but Nick has it on every night at
So we're
9
blaming
o'clock.
the missus.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait there. I'm going to say exactly the same thing.
Okay.
But I did watch the last season as well, But, you know,
Voluntary, was that like a voluntary?
again, I got into it. You know, Nick was watching it, so... And,
Okay,
and that
so
was with
what
Ke-
is it for you that makes it interesting?
I don't know. It's just easy because of the job I do. It's really stressful and stuff.
Yeah.
You can literally just look at it. You don't need to think. You don't need to. There's
no
no
investment,
context
is there?
behind it. It's just that's it.
But-
It's easy to watch.
Because we've spoken about
But
this
is
before.
it easy to watch, but you wouldn't necessarily really like it? Or do you really
It's
like the
almost like a soap
substance?
opera.
Do you really like the substance, or do you just really like the fact that it's bullshit and you could just
It's
easily
bullshit.
digest
Yeah,
it?
you can watch it. I don't care. I couldn't tell you all their names. I just sit there and I watch it, and it's really
It's just easy to process.
Yeah,
and
it's
take
like
in.
Yeah.
we've talked about this before, haven't
So,
we? 'Cause-
Tom, your view,
So,
said.
so
Go on,
my
Jim.
view, right?
Give it out.
So the thing is, as we've discussed this before, the thing about this program is, right, they're very cleverly made, and this is, I see it from a different angle. This is like television evolving, because this is what TV's becoming now. There's no intellectual. You don't have to invest anything in it.
No.
You don't have to watch it. Like if you didn't watch it for a week, you would know what's going on. They're very cleverly made, and people don't give them the credit they make. Don't give the producers the credit, because what they do now, shows are very different now. They're very interactive, so they're very aware of what the public are watching.
Yeah.
And these shows, they're so easy to manipulate. They can react as things are happening.
They've got like a fucking Love Island shop, haven't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Nick,
So-
so what I've noticed they're starting to do now, they're starting to market all their stuff. Do you
Yeah,
know those
yeah, they're
water
monetizing
bottles?
it now.
Yeah, I know.
Like literally, I've seen it. I've on Facebook and that. I've just noticed so many things coming up for Love Island style bottles.
Have a look at what type of shit they're selling. I'm
Yeah, go
interested
on.
to know.
But what they do, Jim, like I was saying, they're very clever because these shows are different than anything that's ever happened because they're so aware of their audience.
Like the Kardashians and all that bullshit.
Well, this is different because it's live. So
well, kind of like a Big Brother.
It's not live.
It's
though,
not
is it?
live. It's like a day's
But
delay.
they're recorded live.
They're recorded
and then streamed
live.
later. Then.
It's easy.
They probably
it's easy
edited
though,
that
isn't
day, I
it?
would have thought. They're very, but again, they're simple to edit. The narrative is very simple on them. But the thing is, they're so reactive because they can tie in with what the public are doing and implement the public's
Yeah, you can kind of
anxieties and
customize
issues.
it. Yeah.
instantly. And they're 2 hours away. So what they're going to do now, right? This couple are getting on really well. The producers are aware a couple are getting on well. So they're bringing in
Their exes now.
they're bringing in their
saying,
exes
yeah.
now to change things up, and that's why people don't give the credit these shows deserve
Well, they're
because they're
clever,
very
they're clever.
clever.
But I think also people want to see failures and they want to see love. It's almost
Yeah,
like
yeah.
making your own movie kind of thing.
I think
They're
they
like
want to
your
see
puppets.
these really attractive people getting humiliated.
Yeah, of course
and I
they
think
do.
there's a sense in that. Like that girl, these people, they're not. What strikes
real
me,
people, are
They're
they?
not real people. They're all models. They're all like they've
Yeah.
all had relationships, or they're famous, or they've had relationships with famous people.
Yeah.
Lots of the people, like Danny and that other guy,
Danny Dyer's daughter's on there.
they knew each other before they went on. They were
they?
messaging each other and that before.
Do you know Danny Dyer's daughter? Do you know what she's called?
Danny?
Danny Dyer.
Fuck off.
But this is the Love Island.
Cockney then, yeah.
This
She
is the
did.
Love Island shop, so you can buy
15 quid a bottle.
Okay, so what's on there then?
So it's the Love Island official bottle, 15
Who
quid.
would buy that?
I bet you they sell shitloads of them.
But
If
do you
I
think
have
it
one
kind
for
of
Christmas-
appeals to kind of like fitness freaks.
Nick has got 2 of them. She bought one last year.
Why?
Not
Why?
No,
why,
she
why
not
has
from the Love
not.
Island one, ones that look a bit like that.
Yeah, but why Love Island though?
because
How
you
is that
watch it,
different?
That's what I'm
it
saying.
gets in your people's heads.
It's mad how easy we are to kind
Not
of
just that, they've got
manipulate.
Love Island phone cases, which are just see-through bloody plastic.
How
Love
much you charge
Island.
you for them?
10 quid.
£10.
But you think it's the
Surprisingly,
volume,
the
isn't
water
it?
bottle you would think would be cheaper, wouldn't you? They've got then an official Love Island wash bag, which is £12, and a Love Island.
What's the
wristband.
chances Chris is going to rock one? Rocking
I'll
one next
I'll
week?
be in one next week, Chris.
Yeah.
Chriso. But I don't know. And I think, though, there is a bit of it in that. They're these people that, in the street wouldn't look at anyone. They're like, think really highly of themselves, massive
Yeah,
egos
they're
and stuff.
narcissistic.
And I
Of
think
course they are.
that's it. I think that's what people like to see. These people take it
there's-
down a peg or two.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, ultimately, right? These people go on there. I mean, regardless of what we think and we know, like they're just shallow, superficial people.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
ultimately, they'll get the fame and the fortune. So who's really laughing?
To a point, I think they will, Jace, because as we know, these they've got a very short shelf life. Like £500,000, yes, is an awful lot
But
of
even
money.
if they get like they pick up just 20,000 people who actually like them, which is
Yeah.
easily to be done.
And
'cause-
not just that, they get money then, people who want
but
to
they
market
get
that, wouldn't
endorsed. They
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
they get
They get paid to go
they
to
get
nightclubs
paid.
and that crap,
Yeah,
don't
all
they?
that shit. But even just having a YouTube channel, as
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
experienced, you can get quite a
Yeah.
lot of money from that. And these
Yeah.
people,
We've not experienced that part of it, though.
well, we understand this
Yeah.
experience at some point in the future.
But and not just that though. When you look at the people from Love Island last year, Kem now he's on This Morning quite often.
I don't know
He's
who
on
that is.
he's on Love Island.
You
the
probably
show.
know his face.
You know him.
He's everywhere.
And
I don't watch TV.
And that other
Oh, yeah,
guy.
you
What
come
was
too.
the other guy when he had a girlfriend? They were arguing all the time.
Chris.
Chris, yeah. He had his own TV program with his girlfriend.
But there's loads of people out there. I guarantee you, as well, savvy people on YouTube or the internet who
Oh,
go,
yeah.
mate, your face will bring in a few followers.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got an idea that fits your face.
Yeah.
I'll meet with you. I'll produce whatever the content
Give you
is.
20
and
grand.
Give you, yeah. And,
Imagine-
and if they can bring like 20,000, there was a guy,
Yeah.
I watch a lot of like photography stuff on YouTube, and these guys, they got like 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And that's their living.
Oh, yeah, you
But
can in
not
a
just that
fortune.
though. Imagine like we were
Obviously, you need to
fashion
have the right
retailers
content.
or something, and we were a clothing designer or whatever. These people that are coming out of the show now as it goes on. Imagine you can get and speak to the guy that wins it, and you say, "Oh, wear my T-shirt and my logo on the front of it."
Loads.
They give you like
but
20.
we're
Give you
still
20
poor.
grand.
We
Yeah.
feel like we've judged them. We've decided they're
Yeah,
fake.
yeah.
We haven't.
Yeah.
Powerless.
Yeah.
Absolutely powerless.
There's a
So
lot to be
who's
said about
really
that. Who's really winning?
So, and again, on matter now, but so these producers kind of dictate to these people who take part in Love Island, right? Based on our interactions with the show,
Yeah,
and so in others like we dictate to them, but ultimately we're being dictated to.
Oh yeah.
Well,
We're being really
Shall I tell you what I want to
manipulated.
see?
Is
I want
our
to see
views.
Slob Love Island.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No, I
People-
want to see Love Island, and then I want to see a fucking shitty kind of boat coming over the horizon full of fucking loudmouth, one tuff in their head, fucking
Yeah.
shabs who can't fucking speak.
All go into the home.
Yeah, oh, she's fit, isn't she?
But there was a.
I'd love to see that.
The
Yeah.
thing is,
Sit up a
something.
bit.
Battle of the Island, we'll call it.
It's quite
That's
interesting.
my idea, all right?
Yeah, he's patented that.
on.
It was quite interesting because there was this girl on there called Hayley, right? And she was an attractive girl, but all she had was her looks, and her personality kind of left a
What,
lot
she was
to
on
be
this
desired.
season?
Yeah, remember the Scouse girl?
Oh, right, yeah.
Hey, James, James, your thumb's in the way. We're taking a photo.
Yeah, go on.
So anyway, this girl, and all she had was looks, James. She was a
Yeah.
model. Not
All models.
yeah, they're all models, but all she had was her looks, and she was very argumentative. She was quite a difficult person, just generally.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it was quite interesting because they all go purely on looks. They base everything on looks. And this is one guy called EL, and he is the most boring fuck in the world,
EL.
Jim. He's so, even the name is boring.
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
And he's got hair. He looks like
Neil.
a fucking sheep. EL.
EL.
EYAL. His hair looks like he looks like a freaking sheep, and he's the most boring person on the planet. But he's with this girl called Megan, and she's equally as boring.
Yeah, but she was an ex-stripper.
Yeah, I know. She takes the piss, right? So one of the girls. Wait there, Chris.
Go on.
So this Megan was slagging this other girl off, right? She's going, oh, you know, she jumped in the pool to get all these guys' attention. Oh, that's not me, you know, I don't like to get attention. The next thing, she's freaking
Says the
wearing...
ex-stripper,
Yeah, says the ex-stripper. But then the next thing, she was wearing this really see-through clothes, wasn't she? And
Yeah.
her and this girl were taking photos of themselves. But the whole thing is full... And the thing is... We can't say they're all stupid because one guy's a doctor, one's a chemical engineer
I
or
don't think
something.
they're stupid.
No,
I
they're not.
just
Not
think
stupid.
they're
No, but-
just shallow and it's just bullshit.
But don't you think, Jay, it's like, funny enough, I mentioned this in work about watching Love Island, and there's almost a snobbery about TV when people go, oh, this is, oh, my, I can't believe you watch that. And you're like, no, because people don't understand television, like the makeup of television.
Yeah,
Television obviously worked in it and producing stuff, and as we're making
But
stuff,
that's the thing.
it's very clever.
They understand us, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
TV land understands the audience.
Yeah,
they
yeah, they
know
do.
we want to just mong the fuck
Yeah.
out, not kind of think of anything,
Yeah, you
not
just
have
switch
to
off,
process
yeah.
anything too complicated.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, but
Yeah.
then not always because we've had a hard day. I think some people just can't.
It's just life is stressful, isn't
But
it?
I think we're kind. Yeah, I don't want to go to Alex Jones now, but we are. We had a little bit dumbed down.
Well, we are, and this is the thing with TV because
There's a helicopter outside the building.
but the thing is,
with my own two eyes.
the narrative is here like any sitcom, any drama. You've got the bad guy, this guy called, what's his name? Adam.
Adam.
He's a bit of a player. You've got the bad guy.
But again,
you've got
though,
the
that's
couple.
what they're there for.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
they're to entertain. And...
How boring would it be if they moved in straight away? Like, yeah, okay, I'm going to stick with this person.
No, okay, right.
Yeah,
right.
well, this is the problem.
It's called Love Island.
Yeah.
Imagine it was actually an island of couples who were in love.
Yeah.
Well,
Who'd
it'd be
wanna watch
boring.
that?
Yeah,
I
that's
love
the
you.
thing.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
And the thing, the
You're
whole
my everything, and they just snuggle all day.
Well, there are
rub their
couples like that, and they're
noses,
boring.
They have sex, eat food, and say stupid fucking jokes to one
Yeah,
another.
yeah.
Everybody's pleasant.
Tickle each other's chin and go, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, oh, you're so
Isn't that what you
funny.
do?
Yeah, exactly, but you got to switch off. You're like, what
Yeah.
the
The
fuck?
whole
I
thing
want to
of-
see. I want to see Jeremy Kyle
Yeah.
kick off
Yeah,
right
of course
now.
you do.
But it's a bit tame this year, isn't it? Anyway, guys.
Right, hang on.
Love
so
Island.
I've got a Telegraph.
Fucking shit.
article
Go on.
here
Jake,
now.
yeah, we were talking about this
And
I
article.
say shit, but I'll watch it tonight.
This is six reasons why graduates, intellectuals enjoy Love Island. And I think we've
Exactly.
touched upon a few of these, right? So number one, Sweet Escape. I think, Chris, you touched upon this.
Yeah, escapism, isn't it?
And...
Oh, yeah, the girl didn't know what Brexit meant, did she? She goes, are we still out cheese?
all right, so this student has said basically she likes Love Island because her brain is so tired of dealing with all the drama of Brexit. Okay, I kind of get it.
No.
There's a lot of shit going on about Brexit and all the rest of
Yeah,
it.
but what's she dealing with? She's negotiating, is she?
Well, she's a student, so
well,
it probably just affects her
definitely
gap
not
year,
much, yeah.
doesn't it? It affects the gap year.
Yeah, the sandwich course, so she can't freaking go to France
So this
anymore.
is Tanya McKinley, and she says, goes on to say then, there's something about tuning into all that petty drama after a long day that's really relaxing. So,
Yeah.
Chris, I think that's similar to what you were saying, mate.
Yeah. As I say, you can just lay
You
back.
tune in to
watch
switch
it.
off, don't you?
Tune in to
Don't have
tune
to
out.
think. It ain't like Ancient Aliens when you've got to start thinking about it. It really isn't, yeah.
Another one is self-awareness, and it says there is no denying that the contestants aren't exactly university challenge material, but the program itself argues Ophelia Stimson, a 25-year-old Oxford grad, and she says basically what they've done, the Telegraph, they've just interviewed intellectuals, students who like Love Island, and this Ophelia Stimson says the show operates on a number of levels, and it's actually quite clever
It's very
because
clever.
it does create a theatre which panders to intelligent viewers. It actually refers to the people in it as the cast and characters, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just skim through the rest. So number 3, dumb comedy. So one of the
Yeah.
guys says it's a district with lots of lakes. You've got, I think that's a quote from some. They're mixing quotes between what people have said on the show and what people are saying about the show. So it's a bit confusing, actually, in the Telegraph. But dumb comedy. So I suppose they're saying dumb shit and that's entertaining. It's a bit like university. And I think what they're getting at here is the fact that they're all young, dumb, and full of alcohol.
Yeah.
And just banging the shit out of one another.
But they're not that's a bit of a misconception because I think
Not all
only 2
student, like,
couples
yeah.
have actually slept with each other.
And number 5, anthropological interest. So just want to social, just look at people
Yeah, just
interacting
observing
like
people, isn't it?
David Attenborough style. And number 6, and the rest, whatever the fuck that is.
The what?
The rest, you could probably make an argument that it's all about gender, society, but personally I think people like it because it's junk TV and they're sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
they've really stretched to make a point there, I think.
Yeah.
Do you rate Dean Gaffney?
Dean
No,
Gaffney or
Dean Gaffney
Robbie
again.
off EastEnders. Remember Robbie? Robbie and Wellard?
Robbie
Oh,
Willard,
God,
Sonya's
yeah.
brother.
His daughters are really attractive,
very,
and there
very
was talk
good-looking
about them
girls.
going in there.
Yeah, because
Well, he hits
looks
out
like
of Love Island,
It's
and he
great
said-
quote for people with goofy teeth. I'm sorry if you've
Go
got
on.
goofy teeth. Somebody once said to me, "Hey, that person looks like they could eat an apple through a letterbox."
He's an apple from a letterbox. I've never heard of that before.
That's so funny, isn't it? Anyway, go on, Dean Gaffney.
Dean Gaffney was. I don't
Never
know.
heard that
I
before.
don't know how he's got into it. Maybe it's because his.
No,
daughters
I
would
think
be-
there was some talk about his daughters saying they were quite interesting, that they'd be interesting going
Well,
down there.
he's hit out.
Oh, he's not happy.
hit out.
He's got all well
Gaffney.
out
And
on
his
him.
daughters would never have applied, and they've been brought up better than that.
Good on him. Well
His daughters
said,
are very
Dean.
good looking, though. I've got to say.
How old are they?
Oddly, they look a bit like Dean. Haven't they got this weird look? The blonde one there, she has got a Gaffney look, like.
She has,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got old Gaffney on me, son.
And look at Dean Gaffney there. Actually, I can't do this.
Are they both his daughters?
Both
Yeah.
his daughters, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're twins, yeah.
Yeah, the brunettes.
Look, in the eyes.
All right, I'm just happy to be on fucking telly, and I.
Oh, well, they got quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I don't
So I
like.
tell you what was
yeah.
surprising, going off about EastEnders actors. Do you know Patsy Kensit, Bianca?
Yeah.
Bianca!
On the news,
Reggae.
it was showing she's got like this amazing house in like Miami.
Yeah, they're paid really good.
friggin'
They're paid massive
ridiculous.
money.
Well, they got a lot of wedge in EastEnders.
I just didn't realise how much money they were making.
Oh,
Like
God,
it's
it's
like
massive.
A
It's-
million
You've got to think,
pounds,
Chris, they
like.
film.
It's such a long-running show, and if you get on that, you're set for life, aren't you?
I don't know. Seen the girl that was on? She's on Casualty now.
I've not watched EastEnders.
Yeah,
for
but look at someone like
decades.
Phil
Sarah
Mitchell. The
Smith.
Mitchells, they're just freaking loaded.
Yeah.
Is Ian Beale still on there?
Ian Beale,
Oh, yeah, of
yeah.
course, Ian Beale.
Is he still?
Yeah.
Is he?
I love EastEnders when
I used to
Do you
like
boys
it.
watch EastEnders? then?
No.
I used to when I was in uni, and I just stopped that. I realised it was a pile of shit. But I think
Well, you watched it up until then?
yeah. And,
Everybody's
I was in
related,
uni till I was
though,
in
isn't it?
24.
Yeah.
I didn't
Somebody
go, you
shot
know.
somebody's nan 4 years ago, and now they're going to fucking.
I
blood
loved it.
together.
I
yeah.
loved it. Is it Dot? She killed Ethel.
Dot.
Yeah.
All right.
She put a pillow over her.
Did she kill Ethel? Did she?
yeah.
Well, that was like euthanasia, though, wasn't it? It wasn't like
she
freaking
was
Stone
dying,
Cold Killer.
and then she just like it's just like that's trashy TV, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with that, and what I found was I didn't watch it for years when I was in uni. I was too busy, and then I finished uni, and I can't remember if it was a Christmas special or something, and I watched it, and it was as though time had just stood still.
Yeah,
it was the
yeah.
same
Yeah,
characters.
because that's what they did. That's what they're clever at. So you don't And this is what
Simple,
Love
you don't have
Island
to
and stuff.
think that much, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause you
easy
don't need
that's
to
so
tune
and
in
so.
every
It's like
week,
how
do you?
Max Brannon, like, he slept with everyone in the whole street, haven't he?
Yeah.
He like, keeps going back to his
talking
his
about,
dead
Chris?
brother's
What
mum,
you
his
talking
dead brother's
about?
wife.
No, he's always going. Yeah, he's always going back to
Stacey!
Stacey.
Stacey!
What?
this-
Stacey?
Cat!
But going back to what I was saying, though, this is what these shows are very good at, isn't they? They're very
Yeah.
clever. Like, and this is why stuff like Love Island is good, because you don't have to tune in every day. The narrative is very simple. You don't have to tune in
I have
every
no
day.
doubt I could just put Love
Yeah, you
Island
put it on now,
and
you
I
know
know
what's
exactly
going on.
who's who.
Yeah, it's
know,
very self-explanatory.
You're a prick, you're a prick.
I just like
Yeah.
the fact Dean Gaffney's got in it, and everyone's just like, yeah, shut up, Dean.
like they're different,
well,
they're
huh?
polar extremes, but you can something like Love Island and something like Game of Thrones. You have to watch all of Game of Thrones to understand. You couldn't watch it today and understand what was going on.
Hey, should I
but
tell
this
you-
is why this is why Love Island is very clever, because you can pick up and watch it, and it's everywhere. It's on the news.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So people, they are very clever, and people don't
Well, they
give it
just
the
make
credit.
easy,
they-
digestible
Yeah.
TV, and it does well. But I just think to myself, there are people who, kind of like Britain's Got Talent, all that kind of shit, people emotionally invest
Yes,
in these
yes, they do,
programs.
yeah, yeah.
And that's where it becomes,
Well-
it goes from just a easily digestible TV show to watch after a hard day to actually, I'm really into this.
Yeah.
And they start believing that these people have some type of
Yeah.
substance to them when they're not. They're just puppets.
Well,
Can I just chip in here? Talking about Game of Thrones, the two actors got married.
oh yeah,
didn't
Kit
they?
Jon Jon Snow.
Who is that woman, though?
Did you marry?
The woman who says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow."
You know nothing, Jon
They're
Snow.
related. You know the ginger woman,
She's really
watch
good
Game
looking.
of Thrones,
Oh,
don't you?
yeah, the
his girlfriend's
There.
the White Walker,
the wildling
There she is.
the
thing.
wildling. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they got
right.
Look at
married.
her there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she looks like she's a wildling, isn't she?
She's wildling, isn't she,
She
Chris?
looks like a wildling here. She looks really good looking there,
She
doesn't she?
looks like a really pretty lady,
She-
don't she?
yeah, that's Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, you know
But
nothing,
he's got like
Jon
a proper
Snow.
northern accent, though, isn't he?
A Brummie accent, haven't
That's
you?
watch of the wall. We have to defend it against White Walkers. They're coming up the hill there, lad.
You like Game of Thrones,
I
don't
love
you?
Game of
Boom.
Have we
It's
talked
back
about
in
this before?
2019.
Yeah, fucking I gotta wait. How
I
long?
know, I
And then
know.
that last epic shot.
Maybe
of,
we have to watch
What
it
was the
again.
last show again? What
Probably
happened
have
to
to.
the last?
But that's the thing with me.
different
I
did
got
she look
such a bad memory.
Yeah, I can't
And
remember.
and I need to watch because fair play. There's guys out there who do like YouTube videos and they
Yeah.
basically condense
Yeah.
seasons upon seasons
Yeah.
just to get all your kind of
Yeah.
remember everything. So I can't. So 2019. I think
2019.
Do you know the
That's too
last
long.
episode though? They were fighting in the middle of nowhere, weren't they? And the guy just daps it back, didn't he? In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
And just
like
takes
Oh
it back
yeah,
to
when they're in the
war.
lake,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's like they took weeks to get there, and
know.
like 20 minutes later,
When you're shitting your pants.
The North People fuck now, isn't they?
You
They
make
got they
haste.
got a dragon now, haven't
and
they?
you're doing an Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't stop.
But the thing is, right? Think about it logically. You could never beat the wild. No, what are they called?
The walkers.
The walkers, because anyone who dies becomes a walker, don't they? So eventually, every fucker's a walker.
It's true.
You'll be fighting. You can't kill them. No, you can with dragon glass, can't you?
Oh, that's right, and that's where they
Dragon
got mine.
glass.
With Khaleesi's permission.
But you know the
Yeah.
whole thing about it. Now they've got a dragon, haven't they?
Oh yeah,
Why don't you just fly over and burn everyone?
Because they got dragons too, and this is what makes it interesting. Because beforehand, you could have gone, all right, well, let's just get all the White Walkers walking over to wall, get 3 dragons in here, breathe fire on them, they're all fucking dead,
he
innit?
melted the wall, didn't he?
Yeah,
That's
but
what
that's
he
the
did.
thing. But now they got a dragon. It's
Yeah.
kind of even Stevens.
Yeah.
2-on-1 though, isn't there?
Yeah.
No, one dragon.
Yeah, one. Oh no,
No, there's
one,
only 2 dragons because one died, didn't
Oh
he?
yeah, one got killed.
One got
didn't he?
killed, didn't he? Did one
Oh,
dragon
right,
get
yeah,
killed?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got speared in the thing, didn't it?
Spear in the balls.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
was
one
it-
dragon
Enough,
got
wasn't it?
killed. So there's because fire and ice though would kind of imply that Daenerys and Jon Snow are going to get it on, don't they?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they reckon
you
they're
know, like-
related, didn't they?
Yeah.
But you know though,
There's a lot of incest in Game of Thrones, which will
Oh,
probably
yeah.
lead us on to
Yeah,
our
we'll
other
lead us on to
story.
the next story in
But
a bit.
yeah, you got that's mad actually. They're so openly incestuous in there,
They
and it's
absolutely
kind of
freaking
like
love it, the Lannisters.
yeah.
well, do you know?
Keep it in the family, call it the
years
royals.
and
innit?
years and well, Alexander the Great. Apparently, he slept with his mother.
It was all the rage back in the day.
Well, if you remember,
lots of times.
was it Nero?
God.
One of the
yeah, Nero would sleep
yeah.
with his sister, wouldn't
Yeah,
he?
but
And what's the one off Gladiator? Tiberius, wouldn't they?
Huh?
What's the emperor on Gladiator?
Tiberius,
Tiberius, wouldn't he?
yeah.
Because he was absolutely demolishing his sister.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
But Nero,
And his sister and his mum.
Nero
Ugh.
actually, I think he was fucking his sister, and then he got her killed, and then he he come across this young boy who looked like his sister, chopped his dick off, and fucked him then, and married him.
It was
but then
near
his
a
back
war.
garden, he was mental. His back garden, he'd have people speared as you walk down the garden path. These people high up, like really sick
Well,
mental
can I
case.
digress a bit? Do you know why Vlad the Impaler was called Vlad the Impaler?
Because he's impale people.
So Vlad the Impaler was Dracula. And
Yeah.
we've been to Transylvania, where his castle's there, haven't we?
Yeah.
And
Freaking lovely.
what he
isn't
did,
it?
it's like psychological warfare, though, actually. And what
Yeah, he
happened?
do it as like a thing. Yeah,
Well, he was an emperor in Romania, and he shared a border. Literally, his castle or his empire was on the border between the Hungarians, who are really powerful.
Yeah.
And what the Hungarians were invading, and he didn't have a big enough army to fight against the Hungarians. So what he did, all the villages around the border, he went in there, captured everyone, all the villagers, and impaled them all. And he made forests of dead people. And you can imagine the Hungarians thinking,
But
wait a
nah,
minute.
fuck this.
Wait a minute.
But, I mean,
If he did that to us, if he did that to his own people, what the friggin' hell is he going to do to us?
I mean, I suppose back in those days, you wouldn't be that surprised, would you?
Yeah. You'd be surprised who turned up then.
I
It was
don't know,
all
though.
wasn't
I mean,
people
it was shocking enough to make them turn around.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, but with a name like Vlad the Impaler, you'd expect it, wouldn't you?
His name wasn't Vlad the Impaler before, was it? It certainly wasn't.
Yeah, well,
after.
obviously.
Born Vlad the Impaler, you got a lot of work to do, son.
Mate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
Well,
guys,
digress
wait there. I've got one more bit to add on Love Island.
Go on then.
So, right, Jim, there was this piece in the news where I can't bring her. Try and grab her up there, Chris, about Adam basically a women's aid are complaining that he's abusing these women. So basically, if I give you a bit of backstory, you don't watch it. Adam, right? He's a bit of a player.
Okay.
But these girls love him because he's a good-looking bloke, you know, in really good shape. But these women, they're kind of screwing each other over because they all fancy him. So he's gone through one woman, dumped one woman, went to the new girl because she was new. Then he's done it three, so he's on his third woman now.
I see, yeah.
Well, how's that abuse? They're
Well,
just
exactly.
gullible
Well, this
to
is
fucking
this
charm.
is the
Wake
point.
the fuck up.
All he is, he's good looking, but his attitude leaves a lot to be desired because he's kicking them to the curb. But the irony is, there
Life
was
lessons. Can't people learn lessons about life anymore?
without it being abusive. I don't agree with it being abusive.
Women's Aid issues warning about Adam's unacceptable behaviour. This fucking thing. What pisses me off about all these things is you go on them.
Yeah, you have to watch the adverts
And there's
first, don't you?
adverts, all to do with.
Admittedly, he's not treating them well. Admittedly, this Adam ain't treating them well, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Sorry, lads.
Um,
Fucking bastard.
But these women are voluntarily going to Adam. He's not abused. He's not forced himself on them. He's not abusing them. He's not beating them up.
Not to mention when this girl was cheating on when he was with someone else and she was snaking and getting this guy.
It's just this bullshit.
Yeah, they just all
fucking-
out for themselves. That's the top of it. And
We live
Adam,
in
he's a
this
good-looking
shit.
But
guy.
then
He's just taking advantage.
maybe they should stop the show then.
I think
Don't get any more.
honestly, I think ever since the Harvey Weinstein debacle, right? I think there's such a hypersensitivity to anything that
Yeah.
remotely is to do with a woman being abused or mistreated. I think everybody's hypersensitive to that. You need to get a bit of
But the
fucking
thing
reality
is, James,
brought in.
he's not abusing.
No,
this
but
is-
that's the point.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
because the woman's not getting her own way, it's like, oh, that's abuse. No, it's not.
The
That's
women
just a
are-
life lesson.
The women are screwing each other over.
But she screwed
to
over
stay on
another
the
girl
show.
to get with
For
him.
some people, like women, they should know better. They're supposed to be dealing with actual fucking issues that
I
concern
agree.
women, like actual fucking abuse.
But when this girl went in the program, this guy was with a girl called Kendall, right? And she turned around, she's like, oh, I'm going to go after this guy. If I like him, I'm going to have to go for it. So this new girl's done exactly...
Yeah,
And
no
then
one was
he
concerned
dumped
about
this
that.
Kendall girl to be with this new girl. Rosie was Welsh, coincidentally. And then this new girl's done exactly what she's done to him. She's done the same thing.
There was no complaining then.
Yeah,
though.
there was no women's aid didn't get involved then saying it was abusive. It's just because she's got upset. But this Kendall girl was probably just as bad, upset.
She liked him.
But anyway,
we've
we'll
given
leave
enough
that.
time to Love
Fuck
Island
you, women's
now.
aid. Sort the fuck out.
Yeah, guess.
Okay,
So,
then, right. So what
Johnny,
we
Johnny D, old Johnny D.
Yeah.
Deppy.
So what's the story on Johnny Depp then? Because he's
he's
Come
what's
on,
he doing?
he's-
He's suing his management company now
What's
for
going on
stealing.
there, then?
Well, he says that they didn't manage his money very well, didn't? Yeah. So they weren't managing his money, and people were just taking all the money from him. But if you're that fucking off your face and you're getting bouncers to punch you in the face,
yeah.
money's gonna go missing.
All right.
I
Did
was
you-
saying it was just like it was remember The Simpsons when Mr. Burns he goes to Cuba and he
Yeah.
goes with $1 trillion bill and he goes to Fidel Castro. Oh, here you go. And he's like, oh, can I hold your $1 trillion bill? And then he goes, oh,
God.
now give it back. And he's like, what $1 trillion bill?
But like there was a story about him. firing his mate out of a cannon.
Oh, yeah.
Cost him £3 million.
And I have that here from the Guardian. So
£3
basically,
million, man.
So basically, he's been having an issues then with, I'm just reading now, with his producers, his managers, former managers. They're saying to him, no, mate, you've really spent your money on a lot of shit. And he's saying, no, you committed fraud here, you're ripping me off. One of the over-the-top lavish expenditures he made was apparently shooting his friend, author Hunter S. Thompson. He spent $3 million firing the
would it
late
cost
Hunter
that
S.
much
Thompson
money?
from a cannon.
How would it cost that
Yeah,
much?
how much would it cost? £3 million.
quid.
You get a cannon, right? The guy's already
You got
dead.
Johnny Depp off his tits. He wants to do
yeah,
something
yeah.
ludicrous. You're going to go $3 million? Yeah, that's fine.
I wonder if this guy was like behind the queue when the bouncer was knocking him out. Just
Probably,
like, oh,
yeah.
shit, I got
It's
a
like,
cannon
how much
quick.
is Johnny
Johnny
Depp's on the
Depp
phone? Hey, Tom, I want to shoot my mate out of cannon. How much is that going to cost? $3 million? Yeah, that's
3
fine.
million.
Yeah. $3,000? What, million? Yeah, million, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So basically, so Johnny Depp has got in this article he's actually spoke about this, and he says in regards to shooting his friend out of a cannon, he says all I'm doing is trying to make sure his last wishes come true. I just want to send my pal out the way he wants to go out. And then he says he loved explosions. So I don't think it was actually said to him, hey, Johnny, when I die, shoot me out of a cannon. I think it's more
Do you
the
reckon
lines of...
he's dotted the, like, filled in the gaps there? It's like, I
someone has.
absolutely
Yeah.
love explosions.
Yeah, I think he's just...
go with a
yeah,
bang.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And another example of expenditures made by Johnny Depp, lavish ones, was what his managers are saying, business managers, Joel and Robert Mandel. What they're saying is he spent things like manic spending on private islands,
Wow.
French chateaus, 156-foot yacht,
Wow, that's a big yacht.
and a lot of crazy shit like that. So, yeah,
But why
he's blown
were
his
they-
fucking
why
money.
were they then telling him, wait a minute, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny, shoot someone out of a cannon.
Yeah.
It's a bit excessive, mate. We'll
Do
just
you need to shoot someone out of a cannon?
take him up a mountain and hold the gas
Surely
open.
they
And
can just
then...
get someone like a Chinese bloody firework factory to do it like for
It depends
20
grand.
grand.
On mentally is. I mean, let's face it. Johnny Depp is paying you fat wedge.
Yeah,
and
you
he's
just
like,
go, yeah. You're not
manage my
gonna question
money.
him, are you?
No, you're gonna go. Well, I'll crack on then, mate. Just I'll just let you know when it's run out then.
Yeah, exactly that. He's paying you $500,000 a year or whatever to do. Yeah, and he's like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna fire you.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it on.
Nah,
Yeah.
you just you're gonna do it. I wonder if he's got any money left then.
Oh, he's not going to be poor, is he? Well,
I mean, how much of his wealth he's lost?
We were talking about people being surrounded by people that aren't good
yeah,
for
the
you.
yes men.
Yes, man. And I saw a really good interview with Tony Bellew. And what they were talking about was some of the people that were around him when he was losing. There was no one there. When he was winning, everyone's there. And on ringside, they were talking about Chris Eubank Jr. and the pitfalls of having people around you that are just yes men.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Then you get into the ring with someone that's just as good as you.
Or better in Grove's case.
and you get
It's
fucked up.
it's the worst kind of advice you can give
Yeah.
to somebody, especially in competitive sport.
Well, in anything, like we were saying, we mentioned earlier, we're doing this podcast, we're working really hard and stuff like that, and it takes up a lot of time and stuff. And when you're starting off, everything's hard because no fucker wants to know you, as you know.
Yeah.
As you know, no one wants to know, and no one will help you, no one will promote your stuff. You're on your own. But the minute you get it, you can't get rid of people.
I
You really
remember
can't.
when I was doing my training for the job I do now, and but when I needed some advice and some support, no one wanted to know.
People don't.
Yeah.
And now I know that I'm qualified and I'm quite experienced now. I have people ask, "Oh, can you speak to my niece? Can you speak to my nephew? They're thinking about doing the same career path," and I always do help them. I always do, but I always think, when I needed help, no one wanted to know.
did.
No one
Yeah.
wanted to help me out, and that's just the thing about it is,
And especially when these people, obviously these people are A-list celebrities. These are people who can make or break a career.
Oh, they can
if
do what they
Johnny
want.
Depp's like, oh, listen, I'm going to be in a
this
film.
is why I guarantee the more rounded celebrities, the more compass mentis celebrities out there are probably ones who have solid network of
Yeah,
people who
yeah,
are not
good
afraid to
families,
say
yeah.
you're acting like a total twat.
Yeah.
You know what I
To be
mean?
fair, you don't see Beckham buying freaking lions, dueling crusty
No.
claws and paws.
Well,
and
I-
everything.
Pretty already got him.
One guy I always think about in terms of Hollywood and somebody who's very successful, probably very well off, but seems like a very level-headed guy. It's Tom Hanks.
I knew you were going to say Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be minted.
He's never any
Have a look how rich
controversy.
Tom Hanks is. He's going to be
He's
minted.
just solid. He's a
Yeah.
good actor. He's still making good films to this day.
And he's been with his wife like pretty much all his career, isn't he?
Yeah, solid, well-rounded guy. I mean,
But Leonardo DiCaprio seems like that as well, though.
No, I don't know if he's
Wow.
he's gone off the rails once or twice,
yeah.
hasn't he?
350 million.
Yeah. I reckon, and he's been in some iconic films. But like you said, Jim,
Castaway.
apparently he's
Castaway.
very like
never seen it.
never seen
Castaway.
Well,
Whoa,
Just
stereo.
retarded,
Yeah.
Castaway's brilliant.
you what?
Have you seen The Road to Perdition? Is it
Yeah,
Road?
it's a good
That's
film.
his watch
yeah,
film.
yeah,
today.
yeah.
He's in some classic films. You know, like Big. I don't like watching that film no more, but at the time it was freaking
It's
pimp.
good.
I don't
Classic.
know. It's one of those films I've seen so many times.
I love it. I love it. It's like a warm, cozy blanket, you know?
Yeah. But
Right, let's go from big to incest.
Incest, oh.
Let's touch on this quick. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So, who's got the story then?
So Chris,
So there was a couple, wasn't there, in the news this week? Did you manage to read it about a guy who married his brother, a woman who married his sister?
wow.
A guy who married his
So he
sister.
knew her. He obviously knew. Like they weren't separated. They were like, they can't use that. It's just
Right,
gonna-
let's get
yeah,
the
what's the
backstory on this.
background?
Let's get the facts, shall we? So they tried to keep the relationship a secret for 10 years.
Jesus, that's a long time. to
Didn't
keep a
quite
secret,
work
isn't it?
out.
So they knew they were when they met.
Yeah. So a long lost brother had been hiding. So this woman's 50 and she married her stepbrother who's 37 3 years ago, and they've been together for 15 years despite it being illegal to marry. They married. When did they marry? It's illegal, so they.
How do they marry then if it's illegal?
Well, look, they look pretty legal there. So due to the duo who share the same father, that's messed up.
Oh
innit?
no.
Claim that they experienced genetic sexual attraction, a condition where people fall in love with their long-lost relatives. Debbie was 35 and Joe was 23 when they first met in 2003. Debbie says it was love at first sight.
So they met later on in life.
They knew each other.
But they knew they were related.
The
Are they
worst-
still? Because that's interesting. Because there was a program not too long ago about this, and it was in Britain, and it was about long lost siblings who have met and have had a sexual relationship
Oh, that's hard, isn't it?
because they've confused their emotions, basically.
Yeah.
Something to do with that.
I was
thing
telling you.
was, though,
I've actually got a half sister who I recently got in touch with on Facebook.
Wait there. Where's this
you
story
ready?
going, Jim?
No way. But clearly, not
really?
everybody feels.
You've got a
yeah,
long-lost sister?
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't know
half
that.
sister, yeah, an older
Oh,
sister,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So we've all connected with her on Facebook, and yeah.
Start
wow.
coming down, giving you shit now, was
Yeah.
you? Back off. But the weirdest thing about this story is, right, they had sex on their second date and moved in together within 2 weeks of knowing each other.
I'd be very interested to know whether they were lonely people before.
Yeah, yeah.
They weren't after they met, were they? That's
Well,
just. how
did
do you
I
think
did
about
I
that?
mention the podcast? It was a story about a couple, a mother and son, and she was really young. She had the baby really young, and he was taken into it. He was adopted.
Yeah.
And so he goes to a nightclub. Yeah, I did mention it. He goes to a nightclub before going to meet her. They arrange to meet up. Sleeps with this older woman. Boom. Next day, goes to meet his mum. Hello, it's the same woman.
I don't believe that. I don't
no,
believe
it
that. I don't
was.
believe
It
that.
was.
It's just weird. It might have happened. That is fucked
Because
up.
again, like
Do they still fucking, or are they?
I don't know. I can't remember that
yeah,
story.
you'd be
but
devastated.
oh, it would be hard. Well,
You would be fucking devastated. Well, unless you're one of these
unless
guys.
you were, loving it.
you're into
That's
that.
weird, isn't it? Oh,
Wow.
that's strange.
That's really made me feel a bit sick. Anyway, so anything
Yeah.
more on that story then, Chris, or is that it?
It just freaked me out, that one. I just thought it was
Yeah.
so weird.
Like,
We've talked about
that
this in
is
the past, haven't we?
crazy.
With two pumps, remember?
Oh yeah, old two pump.
that is crazy stuff. I mean,
But like, I don't know. I've never known anyone.
it's a psychological thing. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
you're confusing your emotions there.
but it's hard, isn't it? That's
Right, should we do
Well,
the
so that
Christmas
guy's an
conspiracy?
actual motherfucker. Anyway,
yeah.
Sister fucker.
sister fucker. So here we go, boys. Conspiracy corner with Chris.
Welcome to Chris's Conspiracy Corner.
Right, so first of all, we need to admit that last week we had a really, really, really good guest in, but unfortunately we had quite a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, there's some technical issues we found
Yeah.
out, unfortunately, after recording. But this is why we need some better
We
equipment.
do need some
unfortunately.
we need some investment, really.
Yeah,
don't we?
anybody offering?
Anyone?
Drop us a note.
So anyway,
not ashamed to ask. But
Yeah.
no. So Chris arranged with Duncan,
Duncan Lunan.
who is the author of many books. One in particular about the Green Children.
Yeah, Children from the Sky.
Green Children. Yeah, is it called Children from the Sky? Is it?
Children from the Sky. Bought the book. It's a 500-page. It's almost like a textbook on the subject.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fascinating. And Duncan was a brilliant guest, exceptionally knowledgeable.
Very,
about it.
very in-depth knowledge. He clearly knows his stuff. So we had an hour with Duncan. It was fantastic, but unfortunately, due to technical issues, we lost that show.
Hopefully, we can get him back on one time in the future. He's got loads of books.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, definitely. So before we go any further, shall we plug Duncan's stuff? He did give us some details on where we could find him, didn't he?
Yeah. So Duncan's got a website. If you just type in Duncan Lunan, Lunan, and he's got absolutely 9. He's an author. He's got 9 different books.
He's on Facebook as well.
He's
to
on
contact
Facebook.
directly,
He's got
isn't he?
absolutely everything. He's got. He talks. He likes astrology, doesn't he? He's been quite heavily involved in sort of like the British space sort of missions and things like that. Fantastic. But what we want to talk about is Children of the Sky. It's a book by Duncan Lunan, and what he talks about is 2 children that appeared in the 1200s in 1270, just outside Woolpit.
Where is Woolpit then?
So Woolpit is near Shropshire, I think.
Shropshire, that's near the Welsh border then, isn't
It
it?
wasn't near Shropshire, actually.
Yeah, so that's near the Welsh border, isn't it?
But it's a fantastic. I'll look where it is now. It's a
Yeah, it is.
fantastic story.
Near Shrewsbury, that's Shrewsbury way, isn't it?
Yes, we filmed up there for Alone with the Dead.
Did you? Well, in Shrewsbury.
It's
I filmed it for a mixed martial art event.
It's near Bury St Edmunds, which is near Felsham.
So let's break it down then. So what are we saying?
Happened?
What happened?
So in 1270,
Right.
I believe, 2 children appeared just outside the village of Woolpit in East Anglia. So
Oh, wait there. You said he was in Shropshire.
I know I got that wrong.
Yeah, that's completely different.
All right, well, fucking look up on the map, you stupid bastard. What was incredible about this this story was that the children looked human. The only thing that was different about them was they were green. Okay.
Quite significant, though, isn't it?
Very significant.
So it's a normal day.
Normal day. Yeah.
2 kids approach the village. They appear.
They didn't approach the village. They were people that from the village saw them and they tried to make a dash for it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, they tried to run away, but they were
Well, the
seen.
kids tried to run away, all the people.
The kids tried to run away. They were captured, and when they were found, they were bright green. Their skin was green. Their clothes was green, and they were speaking a dialect no one could understand. So the village of Bury St Edmund was quite a big trading. So Bury St Edmund's quite close. It was quite at the time. It was quite a big trading port. So, as Duncan said that. It would have been strange for there to be a language that no one understood there because the Flemish or the Belgians
a lot of languages.
would have heard the languages, but they, anyway, these children wouldn't eat anything. The boy subsequently died a few years later, a few months later, of a depression. His sister went on. She started eating food, and after a while, her clothes, her skin turned to a normal color, and she went on to marry. And she learned English then, and she talked about being from a place where everyone was green. It was twilight.
Everyone was green now, was it?
It was. She said, and Duncan said that it was dyed green. They talked about them dyeing things green, and what they said is where they lived was a place in twilight, constant twilight. But animals used to come, didn't they, from the daylight to hunt.
Well, hunt them.
To hunt them and their livestock. So they talked
It's like
about
a camouflage thing then, was it?
yeah. So when they were coming from the dark, their eyes wouldn't have adjusted. So that, and anyway, and this woman went on to marry, and it was really interesting because was it 17 years before the children arrived, the king annexed the village. So the king came and just took over the village, and and as Duncan said, this is really, really rare. Woolpit was near a big town. It wasn't a big town.
So sounds quite complicated. It sounds like there's some kind of knowledge by the king of this,
exactly.
and this is all. This one little
was
event
known
is
was gonna
part
happen,
of something. So try and explain
Like
that
a
the
bigger,
best you can then.
So what they reckon, what Duncan thinks is that a few years before there was all these things in the stars. Stars were being seen, strange objects in the sky. they were expecting something to happen in the village of Woolpit.
Okay.
As I say,
Freaking green people turn up.
and these 2 green children turned up. Yeah, and Duncan said though that there was other things happening, and the last recording was in the 14th century of strange things happening in Woolpit. What was interesting at the time, the king was at war in France.
Yeah.
And for 4 days, he was, fighting for his kingdom. He took time off and came all the way back to Woolpit. For a reason.
So is there anything said in documents
Yeah.
by the king, by anybody of the interest in Woolpit? Was there anything mentioned, anything said?
There was, the king didn't document why he went to...
But anybody close to the king, anybody give, or we just saying this is just coincidental?
There was a historian, and he was a guy that saw himself as a bit of a ghost hunter,
Right.
who documented this story. And there was also a chaplain, I think he was, or a monk, that also wrote down about these green
Oh,
children.
so it's actually documented
It's
in
documented,
historical.
and what's interesting, what Duncan said was that the girl that lived became quite high profile, and there's actually letters which Duncan's seen and that she'd written actually in Woolpit.
So
later years, when she was more compass mentis
Yeah.
and understanding of her surroundings and kind of simulated into life, did she go back to say what happened?
yeah. Did
Yeah.
she-
So what she said was that her and her brother were out on a day when they shouldn't have been, and they were just teleported to Woolpit.
oh wow.
Just out.
Just any more detail on that?
Well, it was really, really. I can't remember what Duncan said actually, but he talked about. He thinks that they had more intellect than they let on, and things like that. When they didn't, they were grilled and they were actually baptized or christened into the church.
Yeah.
They were asked about where they were from, and as
But would they
said-
know, obviously now we have an understanding of teleportation, but would they necessarily have known what would have happened? Like,
No, what he said was that they seemed to have some understanding about being in a different sort of under some sort of like spell or something, and they didn't think they were. It's an amazing story, and there's actually things to back it up as well.
so it's actually historically,
Yeah.
there's historical references to it. There's
Duncan spent 25 years researching.
well, it's
So
interesting.
What's
It's
the
odd.
evidence then?
What's the evidence for what happened? Well, there's these 2 accounts, as I say, from this guy who was documenting.
But they both just recount 2 kids looking green coming to the village.
2 stories about it.
What else is said about them which makes us believe this wasn't just some weird skin condition?
Yeah, they could
There,
just.
there is a skin condition actually where you would turn green.
Yeah, from
but
diet and stuff.
You would die straight away.
Yeah.
You would die.
Well, the
within
brother
a
did,
few...
didn't he?
He died. Yeah, I'm not sure the time scale, but it was a short period of time when he died. He wouldn't eat anything that wasn't green. They are on a diet of
Probably
green
why
beans.
he's green. It's like flamingos, isn't it? They're pink because they eat the algae in the water. That's why they're pink.
It is
Dropping knowledge, Tom.
Boom. I only know that because I went to Longleat the other day.
It's a phenomenal story actually, and for me,
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it?
This-
Like,
this
Okay,
whole-
so what are we saying? Clearly, what are we saying? These 2 children were teleported from.
what they said is, I can't remember where they said it was. I think they Duncan was saying it was from Venus,
oh, so they reckon like from a different planet.
from a different planet. Yeah.
So they come from Venus to here.
Yeah, so they were teleported here
Just pure.
through some sort of
Accident.
Stargate. Yeah, accidentally. They were
Okay.
in the wrong place at the right time. They got teleported to Woolpit. And,
But the powers that be knew either this would happen or there was a Stargate there.
yeah. So it was unbelievable. It's a really, really strange story.
Is there any
Yeah,
evidence of a Stargate? Anybody documented
Well-
that? Or was it just these green kids?
Just these kids that appeared. But as Duncan said, there was activity in Woolpit until the 14th century. Strange activity.
Maybe they just didn't have a fucking clue what was going on.
Maybe they didn't. One of the strange things that happened, as Duncan said, was one of the barons at the time. The children were taken from Woolpit to this guy, and this guy, for his actions and for looking after these kids, he didn't have to pay taxes for the rest of his life. for no reason whatsoever, and that's unheard of.
Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't
Absolutely
it?
unheard of. This someone would just be absolved from all taxes. This guy then doesn't turn up in history. Again, only very sporadically when he's witnessing things.
So he's the guy
A
who looked
major
after
guy.
these kids.
Yes,
he's
yes.
the guy who.
And not just that, to take the children to this man, they had to go through 2 other more powerful barons' lands.
So I mean, it's a bit of a jump, isn't it, to go Stargate?
Yeah, like. No, I get what you're saying.
I mean, isn't it like
personally-
what do we know this?
Yeah, like what would make you think that it was a Stargate? Like,
other than they're recounted. I mean, you know, they're fucked up living in the woods as kids. I mean, how old are they?
It doesn't say how old they are. I don't know.
but if they were kids, like obviously,
They
you'd
were
imagine.
very intelligent children.
Yeah, 'cause
Very
didn't you
intelligent.
say they went on to speak other languages after?
Oh yeah, the girl. So she became the manager of a household, a really popular, a big household. So in order to do that, she'd have had to speak English, she'd have had to speak French, she'd have had to speak Latin, probably a bit of Flemish as well.
But was that quite
Within a few
common in the
years.
time though? Like,
Oh,
did
no,
a lot of
not
people
many
speak a
people
lot of
spoke all that.
languages?
Well, no, she was literate as well. So not only that, she spoke English.
Yeah, which was rare in the like peasantry. That would be quite rare.
She
wouldn't it?
rose to a prominence that most people don't. And if you imagine this
But
woman
then
was
again-
found in the woods,
But then,
how many people
but
found?
then, why would these elite want to make sure that she gets to that level?
Why
Because-
would they?
Well,
Yeah, like, what was so
they've-
special about it,
the,
wasn't
the
it?
guy who looked after him was
Yeah.
exempted from paying
Well,
tax.
maybe, I mean, these people from the stars, weren't they? From what they found, maybe they
Starman.
thought that
So-
they were gods.
But what did they do then to warrant all this fuss and money spent on them? Like,
What's
what if I'm aware that these kids are from the stars and I
Yeah.
got money and power and I make sure they're
Yeah,
all
what
right
you
in
get
this
out of
world,
it.
what am I getting from that?
Well, it's like what we would get now. We get knowledge, technology, wouldn't we? Not just that. When
So you think they've had some technology?
we don't know. I asked Duncan about that, and what he seemed to think was they were settled in the time. So he suspects that they were in a sort of parallel time as it is now. So this that may be echoing the same time. So the 12th century.
So they weren't that more advanced than us?
I don't know. He didn't seem to indicate that.
Because surely they would have known about the Stargate and how they got there. They wouldn't have just said, "Oh,
Or
we
like,
just
He
or
found it."
like
seems to
Chris said,
think
if they was just freaking pottering through a
accident.
field and you just
But
end up somewhere
Duncan's-
Yeah,
else.
but what I'm saying is, if they are far more intelligent than
Yeah.
us, then surely they would have
Yeah, there'd be something they'd know, wouldn't
they would
yeah.
have done something. I understand they might have been naturally intellectual, which is fine,
Yeah.
but if not, what behavior have they shown which says, "Wow, these girls, this guy and girl are like otherworldly"?
Yeah. Well, it was their appearance, wasn't it? Really.
Is it green
But,
gin?
but did that
Green.
change?
It changed that when they stopped having their diet, yeah, and when they started it after a few months, then they
That's
turned
interesting.
they turned into a normal,
like,
and
yeah,
they were
but then,
exactly the same as normal people. Then
If we went to Venus and ate red food, would we turn red?
they would no, it wasn't just that they were dying themselves, weren't they?
So they, oh right.
So it wasn't just a diet thing; they were dyeing themselves this
Ah,
color
okay.
to stop them being.
they
So,
weren't
so they
actually
turned
green
into like a
children.
normal colour in the end, did
yeah,
they?
they went to a normal
So they
color.
weren't
had normal
actually
children.
green children. They were like Caucasian children.
Caucasian children, yeah. And Duncan actually said he's followed the lineage up to this present day. So he's actually followed
Oh,
the family.
that'd be weird,
all
wouldn't
the
it,
way
to
up.
know if
And
your
one
family-
of the people that is alive was a politician.
Oh God, there we go.
Freaking Theresa May.
And Duncan's actually spoken to him and told him about it, and he wanted to know all about it. It's a fascinating story. And that's it. What Duncan thinks is that there were people that were humans and they were living on Venus, you know.
What? So humans have got to that.
That's what he
planet
felt,
Venus.
yeah.
Does you know how they got there?
Well, if he was Stargate, innit?
So these people are aware of the Stargate and they've willingly travelled through to Venus.
Someone must have been, because they annexed the city, didn't they? So or the town.
What if they're just uneducated peasants and haven't got a fucking clue what's going on?
But they weren't. They were very educated, weren't they? Very intelligent.
Okay, in terms of like what they know then to what we know now, they wouldn't be aware of like some things. If this happened now, we could have explained it away.
I think Duncan said he suggests that from what they were interviewed later, she was interviewed in later life, and that she was more aware. He feels reading what she said
Didn't know
than
was
what she let on.
So
yeah.
maybe she knew more than she wanted to. Maybe
Yeah.
she was clever enough to think.
And what's
I ain't
interesting?
tell 'em shit,
what's
yeah.
interesting? That the brother that died, his body was taken one night by these knights, and they think it was the Knights Templar that came and took his body.
What could have been the fact that because these kids turned up green, everybody freaked out, not knowing it's actually down to the diet or the fact they were dyeing themselves green, and then they exhumed the body to then maybe do certain stuff to it, like to dissect it, chop it up or whatever.
Maybe it was, but what they said was these people came, they knew what was going on. No one digs up bodies then, you know, it's really, they're very religious people, aren't they?
Yeah, but if they believe it's a devil or alien or whatever,
Yeah.
might
We'll
be a-
never know. What do you think? We started a new scoring system with this one.
Yeah, so we're going to go around the room and score out of 5. So 1 being the least, 5 being the most plausible.
Yeah, if we agree, if we think
Right,
it's
okay.
plausible.
Go on, Tom.
Right, so I think there's a legitimate reason. I think they might have just been a tribe who freaking put himself green. You know, up in Scotland back in the day, they were called woad warriors, and they would paint themselves blue for wars, but they thought that was for medicinal purposes.
But do you think...
Score, yeah.
So I think it's a legitimate reason. They would probably cover themselves green for hunting purposes, for tribal purposes, and I think these people probably, where they come from, it was quite normal. They've encountered these people. They were seen as like a bit of a godlike status, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll ride this," and then freaking had a better life. And they thought, "Fuck it, we're not going back there."
So do you
Paint
think they're
myself
from
green and
Venus?
shit. No, I think they were probably from up the road. Freaking,
So believable in terms of
I think it
aliens.
happened. Oh yeah, I do
no,
think
but,
it's.
okay, but do you think...
No, I don't think it was a stag. I think it was perfectly
believable.
plausible. I think maybe they just spoke a different language. You know, tribes
Yeah.
develop different languages.
Being very diplomatic here. Score.
Freaking 1. What's the lowest one? I think it was just. It's just. Yeah.
It's a shame Duncan's not here, actually. It's gone then, Jim.
So I'm answering this on the fact that the question is, were these kids from Venus? Did they travel through a Stargate? 0.
0.
Oh wait, there we go. 0.
No, 1. Okay, so 1 for me. I just, it's difficult when you're going back that far back. There's not much to go by. I think these people were easily bedazzled by the unknown. There was a lot unknown to them, and I just think it's a hell of a jump to go Stargate. I think something quite fucked up happened.
Yeah.
Something, I mean, go on, sorry.
No, I don't. So Chris.
I don't know. I'm going to say 3.5 here.
Oh.
I think that, these people, as Duncan said, back in the time, there was lots of people going around saying that there was sort of like holy things happening in the town where they were, because people would come there and it'd be like, it's like a tourism thing.
Yeah.
But all of these, lots of them got sort of played out, they knew it was making it up, and they all got sort of like quashed. This one didn't. There was something of substance to it. The king came from France, where he was fighting for this country, and he went to Woolpit. They annexed the city. So lots of strange things happened in Woolpit.
But because I agree
that's only happened once.
No, but
ever,
I agree.
that
That's
people know about.
obviously interesting because it's not happened before.
And this was 10 years before.
Yeah, but I just think to myself though, but because not everything is documented, what don't we know that could have actually reasonably explained that away? And I think there's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the lack of knowledge that we fill in the blanks, and what we fill the blanks with sometimes is the spectacular.
I think we're filling the blanks. We don't know the city, but
That's what I'm saying,
it's a
like-
shame that Duncan's not here, because I think he
Yeah.
could probably fill the blanks. He would.
I think is a plausible explanation for it. I think they did exist. I think all that was true. I think. Yeah, I just think it was freaking people's.
So, guys,
Let us know what you think, then,
3.5,
people.
and really look up this book or look up the story.
So that's an average of 1,
Children
by the
from
way.
the Sky, phenomenal, available on Amazon.
Didn't Duncan
Luna.
have some dates coming up? He was speaking at places.
We're going to have to put
Yeah,
it on Facebook.
I think you can check out these dates on his website, mine.
I'm
so,
on his website now, actually.
So
Let's
maybe
have a
Chris
look,
can have a look. Yeah, but give Duncan a whirl. He's all over YouTube. Check his website out. Search for him on Amazon. Get his books. Chris is looking for some dates because he did mention.
We'll have to get them. We'll have to get them from Duncan and put them on, and we do apologise. Hopefully, we can get him back on the show again soon.
Yeah. Okay, that's it's done.
And England just won 6-1, by the way.
England won 6-1. There we
6-1,
go,
boom.
England. Right, okay, guys, that's us done. So, ladchatpodcast@yahoo.com. Send us an email. Get in touch. Let us know what you think of the slightly new format of the show. Get us on Lad Chat Podcast on Instagram, Twitter and SoundCloud. Your subscriptions, your comments,
subscribe. Don't forget
your
to subscribe,
likes
man.
are much appreciated.
Sponsorship.
And yeah, potential sponsorship. So yeah, until next time, goodbye.
Peace out.